Up, y'all's wheat, what it do? Welcome back to the wheat field, y'all. Welcome to you. If you're new, hey, welcome to you too. This is your girl La T here at Tears the Week to Roll Show, where you show enough never know what you're gonna get, beloved. These two don't match. I'm trying to pick up and put on a little bit of music. They want us to light the dragon blood incense, so we're gonna do that. What up, wheat? I appreciate each and every one of you that are here, that are still with us. Yesterday's message last night live, beloved, it got a little thick, and we put the warning on it, and folks still was like, can't handle it. We lost quite a few subscribers based on last night's message, but it's all good. Our purpose is not to make people comfortable. I think it is. I don't know if it's to make, yeah, it's to make people uncomfortable a little bit. You know, because when we're comfortable, we're not growing, right? And it always requires us to step out of our comfort zone for growth. So I was very, I guess a little bit both. Like I was a little bit, sad to see people go, but at the same time, it's like people only have an can accept what they have an appetite for or what their mind is open to, and if they're not open, then they're not gonna be able to kind of stomach what it is that a lot of the messages that we bring, and we're just skimming the surface in terms of like so much that we know in terms of dark psychology and manipulation, especially in terms of belief systems and those things that keep people, bound and limited, right? Not being able to see them full selves. I'm getting your full potential, your God essence that lives within, right? That we have the ability to go within, to see self, to save self, right? Like you can go within self and get the key to you and unlock you. So I'm getting kind of like a divergent, like the pathway is changing a little bit. It always kind of has, but I'm getting evolution, right? It's giving me like people's paths are evolving, right? Understanding is evolving. It's giving me very much awakening, messengers awakening, right? So not one messenger, but multiple messengers, right? I'm getting multiple. Um, and I'm getting, like, for many of us, the movie I'm seeing Hancock. Y'all remember the movie Hancock with Will Smith and I think Charlize Theron? And they were made in pairs, right? So it's like he was incredibly, he was who he was and she was who she was. But they couldn't be together because they lose strength or power or something like that. But it's giving me that a lot of us messengers, there is a pairing to us. Like it's, it come in sets almost. So it's never just one messenger, right? It is multiple. And the thing that made people do a little bit of an exodus yesterday was because we were bringing some different information or complementary information to the Christian theology. And when you look at the Christian text, and speaking of the messenger that they kind of really lean towards, which is the holiday season and all that good stuff, that messenger, a lot of their story is missing. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, in the word, in that word, right? Those words that were written, but their story isn't complete, and so we were kind of going through the complementary text that we have. Give y'all some good energy too. Um, the complementary text that we have that talks about infancy and childhood and them going into training, like so pretty much being able to master and hone their gift, like to get control of it because their gift was so strong, beloved. Like they could speak a word and it would happen instantly. So some of the things that happened when they were young, like children do. They get upset, they say things, and things happen based on what this messenger said, right? And so if you could walk up to a fig tree and curse it and then it shrivels up instantly, just think what happened when that messenger, as a youngster, cursed a child because his child bumped them or hit them or took something that they were playing with. Yeah, children died. I mean, a couple of them, and it has a record of people kind of saying that those things happen. So it definitely wasn't the spotless, like blemishless story that they leave in their text. They take out bits and pieces to kind of, oh, hello, Daniel. Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome to you. It takes away like that thing that they put on this messenger to make him seem like they're just something different. It's a misportrayal of who they were. And we know that they were other messengers and people who had significant gifts because they weren't the first person to raise the dead, like the story of Lazarus. That wasn't the first time that those things had been done. They weren't the first seer. There were seers, there were visors, there were people that just knew. They had other spiritual gifts, and they were doing all these things before that messenger, came back and began their missionary work. And so, yeah, we go down those rabbit holes, beloved. People be like, no, we cannot receive that. And that's okay because everybody is where they're at. You know what I mean? But in this space, we are spiritual, we are not religious. We question everything, beloved, everything. And we like to bring together multiple texts so that they could substantiate each other. One of our early disciplines in study was journalism. Not only did we love history as a historian and kind of dabbling down again, now going down the rabbit hole, but journalism as well. How is the news reported? How do they report these stories? How do they leave written record, right? And journalism, we know, in media has a huge impact on the populace, right? A lot of campaigns, smear campaigns, which is where that kind of originated from, to affect the mindset of people in their decision making. Journalism has been a big part of that. One of the major things you could think about is the war on cannabis, marijuana, right? Started way back when. One of the early, substances where they had prohibition on that, like a national ban. And it all really kicked off from journalism and campaigns. That is the mechanism, that is the machine that was used to change people's perception on that product so that they could, diminish how other people earned money. You think about, Hispanics or that community, I don't know, I don't want to just say Mexican, but, that could be true, community that farmed cannabis for, economics. Like, that's where that product was coming from. And, people didn't want them to have an economic foothold, right? So, therefore, that campaign was started so that prohibition could kind of squash it out. You could still get drugs like cocaine and you couldn't smoke a joint. So now it's like, now we know more, we're more aware, so we can see like how backwards that really is. um yeah, so kind of just giving y'all a little bit of background on self in terms of how our mind works and how these messages come in and why we are tapped to deliver them in such a way. Because messengers are awakening. There's not just one, there's many, right? And as you wake up to your spiritual gifts and understand your purpose and step into your dharma, it's significant that you believe that all things are possible for those who believe. Yeah, it is coming from text, but a lot of it is truth mixed with untruths to confuse you. So therefore, again, that journalist in us says that we need multiple texts to substantiate. So we're always going to bring more than one thing to show how this thing that we are giving is true to our understanding based on the multiple sources that substantiate each other. Never just one, beloved. And if you are getting one book that kind of dumbs down on the same principle is not the same as looking somewhere else, right? It's not like I got, again, I'm kind of in a rabbit hole, so just have to bring this because they're telling me that I have, I don't know how many versions of the Christian Bible. I think just right here at my fingertips is one, two, is that another one? So one, two, three, at least three. No, four. It's one right here. Four. So four right here, just right here. And they all pretty much say the same thing. I have Geneva version as well as the English version. I have a Hitchcock's analysis from the 1800s. That was pretty cool. I have a 1500, a 15th century, a 16th century, and I like to go through them to see like how they changed over time, like how things were added and how things were taken out. Um, Another one. What were you giving me? Oh, the very first is from what is that, 144 AD or 44 AD or something like that. I think it's 44 AD. And it doesn't even have the Second Testament. Like, the first Bible did not have the Second Testament in it at all, which is interesting. We have an Ethiopian Bible that also is the same way. It doesn't have a Second Testament. So it's like, you know, it always makes me question, like, when were these things added and how did they, you know, become significant, and what was the campaign to kind of push it. And we know that there was heavy campaigns to really implement and institute this theology, this doctrine on people, because they didn't always readily accept it because there were belief systems before that. So all of that to say is that take everything with a grain of salt. Question, research, beloved. Be diligent in your research. And that's if you are open to it, because nobody can tell you what to do. You decide for yourself. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Because it's not like I'm a non believer. I believe in the Alpha Omega specifically. Absolutely. I know that that is real because I experienced way too much for it not to be, beloved. But the way that they explain it to me is that out of the Alpha and Omega, the word came, right? It spoke, right? From the beginning to the, you know, and it went out. That word goes out on its voice. So the word and the breath are made at the same time. They move together, like, again, that duo. They came together. It's a pairing. And I'm getting, because everything that the Alpha and Omega made is creation, all of us. So it's everything is whole, is complete. There's nothing above us as creation except for the Alpha and the Omega itself. We are pixels and pieces of it. We all came out of it. And we all have it within us. Like, again, so it really takes me back to a lot of those old principles, because that's what we wrestle with. It's principalities, right? It is not just whether it's this entity or that deity, right? It is, you know, those things to me separate us. But when we can get down to the minutia, to the basics of it, and look at the principles, we see pretty much the same things. Like, they speak about the same things all over the globe. And it really, it I don't know why I'm feeling like a wrestling, but it's definitely giving me, you know, the Most High may have given it to them this way, and that's who they called it. That's what they named it. They may have given it to these people this the same way, but this is how they called it. This is how they named it. Like, the people themselves may have named things, and it's so much more. It's so much bigger than us, right? I'm getting hot for some reason, but it's so much bigger than us. It is. It's like so much that we don't know. It's so much outside of the visible spectrum that we can even receive, that we can sense in these vessels. It's just so much more, beloved. So that's why I was really getting the message of all things are possible to those who believe. all things, not just a certain sect of things, but everything is possible. And your belief system in an open mind, right, is required so that you can go further. You can go further out as you go further within. And the more that you can go within yourself, unpacking you, your internal environment, the more that you can see and understand what's going on in the external environment. When we learn to think about ourselves as a pixel, a piece of the Most High God, like you are made specifically. They called you out, they spoke you out, and you have spiritual gifts. You have all of these abilities that may be locked up, they may not be awakened, they may be lying dormant within you, because history shows that we can do some amazing things. We can, right? I think, just really understanding that not only does a thing for our self-worth, our worthiness, understanding that we are so much more, seeing each other as, not only just the same, but we are equal, right? Like, we can have differing, functions and polarity, but that doesn't make any of us better or less than. We, like, it is variety, it is every possibility, all things being possible, every possibility being expressed. So, say if the Alpha and the Omega called out its breath and its word moving, and it created every possibility that could ever potentially exist, and we are it, like all of us, all of us, all of us being pixels and pieces, aka children of it. It would make us stop separating each other, like you're of the Most High, but I'm not, or I'm of the Most High and you're not, right? Oh, thank you so much, Daniel. Look, it is not me. I just surrendered myself as a vessel, right? I understand that I'm a vessel for the Most High. Like the soul, source of us living, resides within, and allow myself to be used, to be surrendered and obedient onto that. When I died and they sent us back, I heard that, like, you will serve and you will be of service. So that was a part of our journey. Oftentimes the awakening comes from something very, very shocking. Do you want me to cover the cut? No. It's I'm getting, all of us are in service though. We are. Like, all of us serve the Alpha and Omega. We do. Like, there's nothing in creation that does not serve the its purpose. Right? And whatever your purpose is your purpose. Again, like, it's a difference between, a butterfly, and I'm not calling people maggots, but some people be on that shit, right? But it's not like they don't serve a purpose. Maggots in nature do. Flies serve a purpose. Beetles, ants, volcanoes, hurricanes, all of it has purpose. And all of it, nothing is greater than the other. Volcanoes are highly destructive, but they are the only thing that creates new landmass, like, naturally. And the soil that comes from volcanic ash is some of the most nutrient soil on the planet. So sometimes it takes something very violent, something very disruptive to pull out the potential that is within. I think about people who are backed into a corner, and we kind of spoke about this recently. When you are backed into a corner, you are cornholed and you are up against the wall, either you're going to cower and fold, or you're going to come out swinging. You're going to come out that corner. It definitely shows you what is within. A lot of people come into their awakening and have their belief systems change because of some of the harshest things that happen to them. It is a galvanizing agent, right? Oftentimes we get taught things are either good or bad, but it just depends on perspective. Now, some things to me are inherently atrocious, and we're not, gonna mince words with that. Like, come on, like, for real. But I'm getting, again, like destructive forces, tornadoes that come through and rip everything up. But then there is an opportunity to rebuild bigger, better, stronger. It gives us the opportunity to be, I'm getting ingenuity. Like, how do we think? How do we solve? Right? Is this just not a good place because of the environment, or how do we, fortify and edify whatever we place on this land so that it could sustain? Um, is definitely giving me, again, the things that we go through as people, right? It could be past relationships, it could be problems with children, it could be problems at work, it could be, problems in the family and upbringing, which we kind of talked about last night. Sometimes those family secrets, and you being a messenger or somebody that's come to take the mantle and carry things forward, like to address that past thing, whatever that generational curse is, and to flip it so that whatever happened now works towards the benefit, because we've learned, we are aware of it, we no longer tolerate it, we I'm getting, like, call people to accountability, requiring those debts to be paid. And I'm getting it's a lot coming to a place where debts have to be paid. So if people owe you, people who have done you wrong, people who have manipulated and lied and deceived, I'm getting those debts are being called in. And it's also calling us to look at self, right? To think about how our programming has formed our belief systems. And is it time for us to learn more, to go further, to really be diligent in our study, our awareness of self, of what's around us and what is within us, right? Because I'm getting that we are so powerful, right? We are just so powerful. We don't understand that every word that we speak is not only a prayer, but it is a spell. Prayer is casting, it's invocation. It is invoking. You are asking something to come in and provide a solution, right? You are asking for, to bring in strength or patience. You are asking for, healing and comfort. You are asking for, provision, protection. All of these things, you are invoking these things. And what always bothers me and get me all riled up and like be like, oh, is when we separate that, right? When we separate the fact that theology teaches us to invoke, to ask for assistance, and in spirituality we do the same thing. We ask for assistance, right? Whether you are asking from something specific, a specific deity that you pray to. I just don't pray to deities, right? I ask for the Most High, the Alpha and Omega, to release onto us, give us the tools that we need in order to meet the day. For they know the beginning to the ending, and so the ending already being done, what tools did we need to be successful? We asked for them. And if our tools are low, we ask for replenishing. It may have taken everything that we had to get through yesterday. And that's a lot of people. It takes you everything to get through the day before. So today, in this day, you need restoration, you need replenishment so that you can be, well equipped to get through this day, beloved. If you believe that you can have a fresh downpour of replenishing of your arsenal, of your tools on a daily basis, that everything that you needed to be successful when you came into this 3D, to this earth school, beloved, is already with you, it's available in creation, it's immensely abundant, and that you can attract, you can call everything into you. You are a magnet, you are electromagnetic, you can attract it, beloved. You can manifest miracles, things that appear to be miracles in your life. You can do things that people will leave a testament about. They'll be like, this is somebody to write about. How did they do it? How did they come into that mindset? Like, can we learn from them? So, yeah, All things are possible, beloved. Believe on that. Believe the possibility that is self. Believe in your infinite potentiality, that any and everything that the Spirit shows you, tells you, you can do it. Out of this space, your sacral, I'm getting the kingdom within, comes all things. Thank you to the Alpha and Omega for bringing this message on to self first and foremost, so that I may be spiritually edified and strengthened. Let me bear the yoke that you have placed upon our shoulders. Have us to overflow. Have it to go out into your wheat field and have them spiritually edified and strengthened as well. Have them be able to bear the yoke you have placed upon their shoulders. Have them to overflow. Have them to us meet in the middle. Yes, overflowing. I'm hearing the word wonderment, belief. Believe in your magic. Like, can you believe in magic? Can you believe in the wonder that is you? That you are the 8 wonders of the plane. It is not like all of that other stuff that they talk about. It is you. You are magnificent. You are divinely constructed and built. You are the highest form of technology in this 3D plane on Gaia. You are everything that they try to recreate, that they try to clone, that everything that we create is a representation of you. This camera, a microphone, voice box, my eyes, the ability to take a picture, a snapshot, and hold it in your mind and memories. I'm getting everything. The informational highway, the internet, it runs through you. It is your central nervous system, right? Everything that's on the inside is also on the outside. And when we can look further, you can understand again you, the inner. And so I'm definitely wanting to tell you, look, sage advice, right? It's definitely something to bring about a different perspective, right? How do we bring all of these pieces together in a cohesive way? Hello, welcome to the Wheat Field. Welcome back, beloved. Thank you so much for tapping in. How do we bring all of these disciplines together in a cohesive way where we have a greater and deeper understanding of self, what we are, and what we can actually do? We were called to create heaven on earth. And we can do it. We were equipped to do it. And we don't need anything to come from anywhere in order for us to perform that work. There are energies that want to harvest your energy, right? Entities that want to harvest your energy. And we are creating what they want us to create. We do it daily. You are always manifesting, always manifesting. But are we aware? Are we stewards over the words that we say that come into physicality? Not always. It's oftentimes a thing with belief, right? We can get intuition and ideas, but then sometimes the things that we see may not support, our mindset in that it is what we need in order to achieve, right? If I'm given this huge dream, this huge, inspiration, it definitely could be, aligned with purpose. But if I don't look out and see that the resources that I need to achieve it, if I don't think that I'm able to achieve it, that it's too big for me, that I don't have the capabilities, then I immediately doubt. So we have a battle with belief and doubt all at the same time, right? And all okay, trigger, because we had this going into the starting the message. You tapping in, this is a different tarot show. It's a reason to me why they describe Lucifer or Satan, which is what I call systems and thoughts against nature, right? Why do they describe Lucifer or Satan as the morning star, but then they also describe that messenger as the morning star? Why do they have the same description? I always thought that was coinky dink. Something else to question. Be nice. Fuck being nice. Be nice, but not too nice, right? Some people are just fucking maggots and they don't necessarily deserve all your niceness. I'm just saying. But it could be, us being told we don't have to be so nice, right? We are always very cognizant and considerate of people's position and that their mind may not be ready to receive what it is that we are told to deliver. Again, we delivered that message yesterday and we lost about 5 to 7 subscribers. Like we came there like, whoa, we pissed some people off. Whether we put the trigger warning on there, we give you the books, the references, you can go research it for yourself, because that's what a good journalist does. They're gonna denote their reference point so that you can look it up for yourself. It is always so that you could go back and see and read and discern for self because we can't tell you to change your beliefs or nothing. We're not telling you to do what we said. We're saying that the information is out there so that you can be aware, so that you can make your own judgment. And if we believe that it's so much that is held from us, even in this day, people are now starting to really be aware that we are not alone in the cosmos. It was always quite arrogant to me for us to think that we were alone, like we're the only living sentient beings, that life only exists in this form out of all possibilities. This is just it. No, even being on Gaia teaches us that's not true. Look how many life forms from single cell bacteria and amoebas and stuff like that, all the way up to the multi dimensional complex of what you are. Like, it's always mind boggling. Again, you are the wonder. Wonder how do your eyes work? Literally, like, go to Google and Google, or go to your ophthalmologist. Yeah, I think it's an ophthalmologist, an eye doctor. Right. Go to them and ask them, how do your eyes work? They're going to tell you that they don't physically see anything. They don't. So how do we see this world the same? How do you see me as a brown skinned girl with dreadlocks down that sit in my lap? How do we both see that? How do we transmit data the same way that this iPad is transmitting these data and images at lightning speed, the same way that you do it? That same lightning speed processes are taking place within you right now. When your brain communicates and sending electrical signals throughout your whole body and is managing, it has a whole underlying system, your autonomic system, that in your parasympathetic, all of that, those processes that are going on within you simultaneously, things that you don't even have to pay attention to. The fact that we could technically see our whole nose, but we dismiss it because we don't need to see it. It's irrelevant to us. Why do I need to see this thing that's protruding out of my face? How does it even work? How do you smell? How do you taste? How do your taste buds work? That's a wonder. How do we take sound resonance, frequency, and turn it into languages that we can discern and communicate with each other, even though we technically don't have to do it, because at a certain point of development, it's telepathic. The same way that you could be thinking about a person, like focusing on that person, and that person either calls you or something like that. Man, I was just thinking about you. Oh, yeah, I was thinking about you too. Could there be a connection there that we are just dismissing because we don't pay attention to the magic? How does your skin feel? You know what I mean? How does it feel something before it even touches you? Why does the hair on the back of your neck or on your arms and stuff stand up when something is going on? What is that is alerting you? They will tell you that your hair is dead when it grows out of your scalp. That's not true. How could it be true? How could it be true when your hair follicles still respond to stimulus? I don't know anything that has really been, that's dead, rigor mortis, respond to a stimulus. It doesn't. I can put heat on this hair and the follicles will open up. They will absorb, take in nutrients, moisture, And then I could change the temperature code and they will close up, they will seal, they still respond. So no, your hair is not dead. It is an antenna. It picks up information from your environment. It delivers you information. You yourself deliver information to the universe all the time. We are two-way receivers, communicators. The universe communicates with me, I communicate with it. The same way that we upload and download, beloved. We talk about it all the time. Uploads and downloads. What else uploads and downloads? That's your computer. Everything that's on the inside is already on the outside. You are the greatest form of technology. You are something that cannot be replicated. You cannot be duplicated. You cannot be specifically cloned and have that thing truly be authenticated, authentically you. There's something going to be missing. First of all, the source of you is going to be missing, right? They could never create another. So release any doubts, right? Release doubts. Have confidence. Not only trust yourself and believe in your own strength, believe in the fact that you are so much more than they tell you, beloved. You are so much more. Rediscover you. Rediscover yourself. What are your interests? Are you hiding yourself to please others? You know, are you hiding within a different version of you? When you are not being your full you? Are there things that you could say, would do, but there's others around you who wouldn't approve? Being so nice. That's what they said. Do you? Omega say believe. And I'm hearing believe in all things. Because every possibility, every probability exists. Can't make it up. Believe in yourself. Self-worth, beloved. Discover you. Rediscover you. I like to offer you a fresh perspective on what it is to be you. High vibing. Healing a sense of unworthiness, expectations, and values, beloved. When I tell you, like, you can do some amazing things when we place our focus, our dedication, our commitment to stay presently aware, right? I'm definitely getting diligence, right? You will amaze yourself at what you can accomplish. Inner child healing. That was definitely one that came out last night in last night's controversial, I would like to say, reading, right? But a lot of things come from childhood. They do, from rearing, right? I mean, we come in as babes and we know, but we can't express, and we get taught, right? We are taught how to play the role. We are kind of get put into this, a character, and it's a predetermined character, not by you, right, but by others, those who reared you, who raised you, who parented you, right? They told you what you're supposed to act like. They told you how you were supposed to fit in. They told you social constructs. They told you belief systems. All of these things were programmed into you. So sometimes there is a need to go back in and face that inner child, whether it's reparenting, whether it's unlocking, whether it is the ability to believe. Who told you those things don't exist? Oh, that don't exist. Oh, there's nothing there. You're just seeing stuff. You're making it up in your head. What? How many people sit there? First, they tell you, babies looking up, and they're always looking up. They could be looking off in this place right here and just be laughing and giggling and interacting with something that you cannot see. It's not within this visible light spectrum, this space of spectrum of visible light. You can't see it, but they can. And then they get older and somebody tell them that what they see ain't real, it ain't there. It's just in their head. Fuck, you gonna tell me that I've been seeing it my whole life? I know this person. How many children can walk up to a picture of a grandparent, an ancestor, great great grand, and say, I know that person? Like, they talk to me, they come and visit me. That child could be a whole medium, right? But they have the unique ability, they have not lost the ability to see beyond what's right here. They can see past the visible spectrum. They feel the fact that we are whole, we are complete. There's nothing broken and there's nothing missing. Matter never is destroyed, it's only transformed. Just because someone is not in this physical where you can touch the flesh, the body, that doesn't mean that their soul has left. I know that could be a thing, because people have that. I got to ascend somewhere, right? And again, every possibility. But could it be true that you could exist everywhere at the same time, beloved? Like, that's the essence of you. You can be here, in there, in there, in there, and everywhere, all at the same time. I think it's true. Structure, see, foundation. Something that came out yesterday as well. Wants to build a foundation of balance, building slow and steady, but things are coming together. Is forming, and I'm getting 8 pentacles. I'm getting dedication, commitment, like thinking differently, a different perspective. And I'm getting going in and addressing inner child issues, whether it is the programming, the indoctrination, the things that kind of define you from other people, like how other people have defined you, told you what you were and what you are not, right? Going in there and addressing that gives you a different foundation. It gives you structure. It gives you stability, right? It's something that you can build upon. Really getting you ready what am I getting? What are you saying? They're giving me be better. So they're saying be better, right? I'm getting a better version of self. I am getting, somebody evolving to their higher self. And I'm getting awakening, right? Awakening to yourself. See, awakening to yourself. Moon, intuition, right? And this came out as well as this trust card. So definitely getting, a correlation. Not necessarily in terms of the specific person that we were talking to, but it's giving me the same energy, right? Definitely getting subconscious, and I'm getting subconscious, things that are coming back into the conscious, out of your unaware to the awareness. Because we could operate from a place of things that we're just unaware of, things that have been programmed ever since childhood, and they're just stored back there. And that is the operational processes that you are moving on. Things that tell you what you can be and what you can't be, what you are and what you're not, what you can accomplish and what you can't accomplish, how to even decipher and break down the world around you. Whether you see lack or whether you see plenty. Like, do you see a world of abundance where everything that you need to succeed and be successful is right there with you? Like, it's at your fingertips, that you can call it. And even if you feel like you don't have it in the moment, do you have what you need to get started, to move forward? Can you take a step? Some people would say baby steps. I don't say baby steps. I'm saying the fact that you are mobile, that you are moving forward. Even if you are crawling, beloved, it's a step forward. You have found a way to be active. You are able to move. You are progressing. Even if that progress is slow, but it's steady. Right? It's always moving forward, and trust in divine timing. That if the spirit showed it to you, you got that download, right? Because you are always uploading. You are always uploading. You are always sending messages out into the ether. We speak them out, we upload them, through our centers. Right? And there's so many more than just the major 7 that we talk about. Like, it's a plethora of chakras that we interact with on a daily basis. right? And some of them, again, they can bring you in and attract energy, and many of them take energy out. So it's always that thing. Are you able to trust the timing? Are you able to believe again? Are you able to go in and unlock the wonderment of that child that believed in all things, every possibility? When you would ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they just lit up, you know what I mean? Or you could see them in play, right? And they would play and you could just see them like this, just being open, right? Their minds running free. They have not been caged in yet, right? They have not fully been put into the cycle, the machine, the indoctrination. Like their wheels are still turning, right? But over time and as we grow, we get put into character roles telling us what we can be, what we can do, how you should believe, what's true, what's not true. The whole thing, separation and individualization comes in. And it makes us see each other as separate. Self love. See, I'm getting intention. Focus on desires of the heart, self worth, expression, and manifestation. We did say, separation, distance, right? So somebody could be taking a time out so that they can kind of release some sort of toxicity, feeling bound to it. And we see attraction in reverse, right? And we talked about you being an electromagnetic being. You can attract. We don't say electromagnetism for nothing. We don't say you are attractive for nothing. It's like magnets, right? And magnets have poles on them. They have a north node, a north pole, and a south pole. So if you tune your frequency to the north because you believe that all things are possible, you believe in self, you believe in the magic of you believe in what was placed in you, the source of you, that you can go within and you can pull that out, right? Then you're going to attract that. But if you believe that, I'm something that, I low self worth, and I don't believe that I have what I need to make it work. I believe that the world around me is just, very negative and pessimistic, and, all those south node type of emotions and vibrations. That is what you're going to attract, right? Is how do we tune ourselves? How do we tune our frequency? How do we dial into the right channel? How can we pick up what it is that we need from the environment that comes in to fortify and edify self so that we can emit on that same frequency and attract everything that's on that same wavelength. Now that might sound very scientific. But when you think about, everything is electromagnetic, everything is energy. We are currency. We vibrate. We have a frequency. And you tend to attract, you always attract. They pulled me back in correction, rewind, and redo. You attract what's on your frequency to you. So, in order to tune your frequency, you may need to go back to early beginnings and heal some things. What was taught to you? What was modeled to you? In this distance, I'm hearing a journey, like your soul journey. See, usually the hermit card, especially in the light seer deck, it shows somebody like going up a stairway to the top of the mountain, and that light that's coming out is actually somebody sitting there, and they are focusing on their light, on growing their light, right? And understanding who they are, right? They are going within self to discover self, and that's what we saw, to rediscover self. Anytime you say, I want to understand, me, or you hit a hardship, those betrayals, those things that really, really hurt, like those violent events, things that come in and shake up your whole world and tear down foundations, you go within self so that you could reconnect to you. right? You generally, that's what people do. And or you go get to a point where you go on a journey and say, I need to find myself. I need to find myself. I need to find my purpose, right? That's the journey to rediscover you, your true you, your true self, to shed away the layers of indoctrination and programming. What has diminished you? What has repressed you? What has suppressed the real you? Being called to release it, to purge it, right? To surrender. Rather, all of those things that you know no longer serve you, that they are keeping you and holding you down. And off again, to awaken is really those things that rock your world, is what I'm getting. To push you into a whole new cycle. That's the journey to get to where you're supposed to go. Because look, somebody's fate is in reverse. So you may not, you know, not just you may not, but it's about the journey to rediscover you. Like, if you don't go in and take the opportunity to rediscover yourself, to reevaluate your programming, your indoctrination, the information that you have been fed to that forms your belief systems, how you look at self, your worthiness, right? Your gifts, everything that makes you you, beloved, then your fate stays in reverse. How can you accomplish it? Because it's only meant for you, not some other surrogate, right? And you're not here to be a surrogate onto somebody else's beliefs, somebody else's purpose. You carry your own, and I'm getting authentic. It's irreplaceable. If you don't do it, then it won't get done, beloved. At least not in this life cycle or on this timeline, in the way that we are experiencing this one. Social media detox is here. No posting, no liking, just living. Don't let it take over your life, right? So this is for, somebody who may do a lot of social media. I mean, and how many of us do get caught up in scrolling, looking, reading? It could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. Again, if you are using this amazing tool, the ability to connect to so much information just like this is at your fingertips, then yeah, it's to your highest. But if we are scrolling, just looking at things that just kind of numb the mind, it's like an escape, and before you know it, you have scrolled 2, 3, 4 hours away, right? Yeah, that's a thing. So consider detoxing. See, so that you can balance it. Juggling too many things at once, find time for yourself, right? So get that message. Juggling too many things at once, but for somebody, I'm getting bring balance to your life, like rebalance you, right? It's a balance between what you know and what you thought you knew. It's a balance between all of those things and learning something new. It's a balance to how we use the resources around us for our highest good. It's a balance to how you see them. Like, everything is not just or not just that. I had a very, it was starting to get heated conversation about, people who, we talked about cannabis earlier and how people use it. Now, cannabis has been in use for thousands of years. We know this. We do. Just like coca leaves or, tobacco leaves, poppy seeds. All these things have been in use and have medicinal purposes. But oftentimes, people distort them and take them out of not only their natural state, or the way that we use it distorts it. And so, therefore, it becomes something that is a detractor from the vessel instead of a help to it. So, for instance, people who eat, if you eat flour, you can eat it, you can cook with it, you can use it to infuse. We know all of this. Wait, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we can't. But anywho, people use it to even connect deeply, like to relax their mind and to connect. So many multiple uses. Can you smoke? Absolutely. Yes, you can. People do it every day, all day. I'm just saying. Is that the best way? No. No, it's not. It's a quick hit, it's a quick fix. But what it does to the flower on a metabolic level is take the THC compounds and they change it from a delta 9 to a delta 11. Don't ask me how I know, I just do. We research, we said that, we go down rabbit holes, beloved. But to tell a person that they will, I literally had a very harsh conversation. It was like, look, okay, at this point, you believe what you believe. If you are not open to receiving the information that I'm giving you or even look it up for yourself, then there's nothing else to talk about. Like the end of this conversation, because it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to bear any fruit, right? So oftentimes, if you talking to a person whose mind is closed like that, you can't give them any new information until they're ready to receive it. And we saw that last night with last night's message, and I had an experience in real life doing the same thing. Like it's almost like you know what you know, and you are not open to knowing anything else. So I must digress. Guilt is a normal feeling. Just breathe in and let go. So, I don't know if somebody in the wheat field is struggling with the sense of guilt, and it could come from many things. It could be guilt from walking away from old traditions or traditions that have been placed, that you have been programmed or indoctrinated to. It could be guilt from wanting to move away from things that are no longer good for you. You know what I mean? Like, whether it is relationships, whether it's people, whether it's mindsets, whatever character people put you in, like that's not you and you know it, so you want to do something different, something that's more self fulfilling, that's more in line with your purpose. It is a normal feeling. We will feel it. We will feel anger. We will feel frustration. We will feel irritation. We will feel grief. All of those things are normal emotions on the scale. Our emotions are our guidance systems. They let you know where you're at with it. If you still get triggered by certain things, then you know that there's more healing to do in that area to transmute that energy or figure out how to use it. How do you use it? Again, anger is a galvanizing emotion. A lot of good comes from people getting angry and they become intolerant to a certain situation. Like, no more. Well, hey, Miss Hillary, thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you. Um, People who get angry definitely can galvanize for change in positive ways. People who feel guilt may be called to look within and unpack that emotion. Is there something that you are either taking on to self in terms of responsibility that really does not belong to you, and there's no need to feel guilt? Why do you feel this emotion? And break down the why. See? Definitely self care and balance. Juggling a lot of stuff, right? Needing more time for you. Detoxing, right? Forget being nice all the time. Sometimes you just have to stand up for you. It's not always a thing about just being nice or unnice. We can be kind and have a kind disposition, but at the same time, sometimes my boundaries is what it is. I mean, people don't look at a volcanic eruption like it's calm, it's nice. Like creation itself is not always nice. The Alpha and Omega have those things built in it. It is natural, it is a part of the balance. So if you feel like, again, that tornado, things in your life are swirling and everything is being, a whirlwind and things are being ripped up. You feel like, the guilt or even after somebody blew up at something. It's like, okay, could I handle it a different way? Yeah, absolutely. I could be like, okay, I understand that this right here ain't gonna go nowhere. It's not. It no longer serves me. The conversation is not fruitful. So I'm gonna walk away from it and just leave it be. Give you the right to be as right as you think you are, as you want to be. No sweat off my back. Cause what you eat don't make me shit is what I'm getting. Right? So therefore, if you feel guilt, think about it. Feel it. And then understand why it's there. And then work on that, beloved. Just breathe in and let it go. Look around and find some signs. The universe is speaking to you. The universe is speaking to you. And I'm getting this music. It's giving me frequency. Bet on yourself. Take chances and be authentic. These are things that we have already said. You are so special. Your life is special. For those who've been here, you heard us verbally say this. Be authentic. Nobody can be you. Always bet on you. Always bet on you. Because you have the power. You are the one with the power to create the life you love. Remember that. You do. Say goodbye to your past. Say goodbye to the past you. Go in and heal you. Heal your programming. Heal your indoctrination. Open yourself up so that you can believe again. You can believe in possibilities. To create anything, you have to believe it. When you believe it, you focus on it, you are dedicated to it, you are committed to it, you will put the energy into it, and whatever you focus on, you will manifest. You will manifest that thing. You will create it because you have the power. That's how you were built, beloved. Arrogance is here. Inability to see your flaws, know your limitations while trying to learn and improve. Is that for the weak? Who is that for? For creation? Those who, I'm seeing and hearing those who deceive. It's giving me for some of us like don't be arrogant, right? A part of something that could be in terms of inner child healing is also the complex or the other side of the coin. We talked about people being diminished and repressed and suppressed, but then there's also the other side of people being placed on pedestals, almost being lifted up to a false sense of superiority, like they don't have the ability to see their own flaws or know their own limitations, or continuing to learn and grow forward for the sake of improvement, right? People who think that they already know it and who already got it. Again, that's that arrogance of like, I think I know what I know, and I'm so stuck on what I think I know that I can't learn anything else, and so therefore you can't grow. That's arrogance. The inability to see a flaw in their own way, right? See, thirst for truth. Always be seeking to learn the truth, finding the hidden secrets, the hidden emotions, right? And acknowledging them so that you can grow. That's exactly what they were giving me, right? Adaptability, to be adaptable, to be flexible, right? We definitely have a dual nature. There's always the positive and the negative. There's the ups and the downs, right? We have visible light and non-visible light. It's going to be that. We have flesh and spirit, right? It is a sense of duality. It always is and it always will be. It is how these scales are balanced. It is how we hold the balancing, right? And many people could feel like the balance is off, like it's really, really leaned down to the negative, because a lot of times the mindsets are negative. We are taught a sense of separation. We are taught superiority. We are taught this arrogance. Like, some cultures truly believe that they are better than others, or that some pieces of creation is better or more important than another piece of creation. It's not. We talked about, last night in the body and thinking about those things. I'm not going to be like my heart is more important than, my lungs, or my lungs is more important than my liver, and more important than my intestines or my colon, which channels shit. Like, no, every piece of the vessel is important. Now, there are some things that the vessel can survive without. Like, I don't have a gallbladder anymore, but let my liver go out. What we doing about that? Yeah. So think about yourself as a whole vessel. Think about creation itself as a whole. is there anything in it that is more important than the next thing? And I'm getting no. The balance of all things is what allows us to be in this space, in this place, doing the things that we are doing, experiencing, learning, growing, sharing information not only with each other, but the all, beloved, with everything. If you are uploading information to the all, then that all can download information to you. It can help you remember the things that you don't know that you knew, the things that have been covered up, the things that have been suppressed, the things that those tower moments in our life come to open us up to, giving you the ability to discern. So don't run from difficult emotions. Sit with them and allow them to shift. In this time of learning and awakening, we will face some difficult emotions. We will face difficult situations and decisions, right? But your strength and courage and perseverance, your discipline says that you can face it, that you were built for this, right? You were built for it. Be here and be now. See balance. Balance. Balance productivity with self-care and mindfulness to savor the moment. We see balance, we saw self-care, we saw self-worth. All of it, right? Self-sabotage. Don't sabotage you. Undermining your success by procrastinating. Negative self-talk or fear of failure. And that's what we were. I got, they say don't self-sabotage you. And that's what we were picking up earlier when we were thinking about, how we call for ourselves to manifest, and then and then we, it's definitely throat chakra and what we speak, the power of the throat, the power of the tongue, and how that relates to your belief system, your mindset, your thoughts, which are open to believe and not, right? And how you behave. If you believe that you are worthy and everything for your success is already with you, like you have what you need moment to moment, just being in this moment. In this moment, do you have what you need to take the next step? If you could say yes, then you are on the road to success. You continue to take that disposition and attitude on a daily basis, and you will not self-sabotage. But if you believe that what you have in front of you is not enough, I don't have what I need, it's not here, it's not with me. A lot of people be like, this is hell, we're in hell already. I don't believe that. I believe we can create heaven where we're at, that everything is in heaven. And if you think about it and use those texts, the Christian texts, I think it was, I want to say Daniel. I could be off, but I believe it was Daniel, so fact check me, right? That had a vision of going to heaven, and in one of the places in heaven was a room, and it was like jail cells, and it was on fire, and this is where, angels who had, acted against the will of the Most High were being held. So in that event, then hell was in heaven. It wasn't no place that we descended to. That was added later. That's why I got so many versions of the Bible to see how they changed over time, right? But anywho, I digress off of that. It's giving me don't self-sabotage based on your belief systems, on how you think about self, your access to resources. You are electromagnetic. You can attract everything that you need based on how you are thinking. You can be successful or you can stop yourself from succeeding. It's all about whether or not you truly believe. If you believe that all things are possible, then why would you ever speak a word against you, weak, and say what couldn't be, what can't be, what I can't achieve, what I don't have? You are a beneficiary of creation. We are all here, and everything that you need to fulfill your purpose, your dharma, is with you. You were called and you were decreed, and in your divine decree is everything that you need. Are you asking for your tools to be replenished? Are you asking for yourself to be restored, to be refreshed? Self care, being present and grateful for everything that's in it, being mindful, the ability to savor the moment. The ability to savor the moment. Spirit says somebody is stubborn. Yes. So we're going to get a clarifying life situation. I feel like we coming to the end of this message. I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. So definitely getting a lot. We see planning phase is here. I'm getting fantasy island and behind the veil. Seeing behind the veil. Right? Welcome uncertainty as an opportunity for growth and be okay with not knowing. Can you not know? Are you able to operate in the field of uncertainty? Just allowing and taking things as they come in and making decisions in the moment for your highest good, beloved, for the highest of everything around you. If the decision is good for you and is good for others too, then that's probably the thing to do. If it's a decision that's only good for you, but it hurts somebody else, it causes harm, then you might want to think about that. That probably is not the right track. Like, and your body knows, right? You don't have to have somebody tell you that it's not, it's wrong to, walk up and cause bodily harm to somebody. For the most part, we know that, beloved, unless there's an electro, you know, magnetic interruption in the body. Some sort of signals are crossed. New worlds, and we saw the world card come out. There's many more things for you to discover, so don't give up. Self-discovery, discovering more about the world, discovering more about self. As you look within and you discover you will discover more on the outside. It will open you up to more things, to new things. If you are a person that's discovering on the outside, you like, I've always been into astrology and astronomy and the stars and pretty much everything. I mean, biology, all of it. How do the pieces fit together? I love puzzles, beloved, and I understand that there's a bigger picture. There's one little puzzle piece, but there's so much more around you that you cannot see. If you were a puzzle piece in the middle, you don't see what's out here on the outer edge. You don't. Like, you don't have that field of perspective. You would have to pull all the way up so that you could see the bigger picture. How do we do that? We see feather of hope is here. Grasp the feather of hope. It says a delicate symbol of upward promises and uplifting future. Definitely a uplifting future. Vortex of change. Things are definitely changing. It's so many people that are awakening. And I'm definitely getting that. And I'm getting multiple messengers, like many messengers. Like the return of the knowledge that one has been held from us, that has been suppressed and repressed. And that repression is kind of like reinforced through our programming, telling us what we can be and what we can't be. And it's just not true. We're getting heart's desires. Sing along with your own heart song, for it knows what you truly want. It really knows what you want. It really does. Right? And a lot of times the discord happens because what we know that we want and what we desire in our heart is either unacceptable, detestable to others, And I'm not saying cause harm to anybody. I'm not, right? As long as you are causing, it's good for you and it's good for others too. You're not doing anybody any harm. Fuck being this nice guy or this nice girl who feel like you don't want to offend anybody. If what you're doing is not harmful or hurtful to other people and it's in line with your heart's desires, then that's what you're supposed to be doing. You might be here to ruffle a few feathers. You might be here to cause a disturbance, to be a rebel in this day, the same way that that messenger was in their day, one of the most famed ones, because again, it was others before them that came that could display some miraculous stuff, including, raising the dead. Just saying, that's what they wrote. I didn't just say it. Casting out demons, casting spells. They could see visors. You want this one? You want this too? Okay. This one? You want this? No. This. Do you want this in reverse? Up. Okay. Wish granted. Somebody's wish is being granted. Somebody's wish is being granted. And it could be you going somewhere. I'm getting this person with a bag. But the journey could be going within, right? Within self. The outcome may not be exactly what you want, but it's what you need, right? It's always what you need. On this journey, we are always getting what we need. And I'm also picking up the highest good. We were kind of just talking about that. You want this one? You want it down? Yes. Commit to the journey. See, on this journey, we are always getting what we need, right? And then so that you could do this. You can rediscover yourself, your realness, your trueness. It's giving me realness. You know what I mean? Who is the real you? Where is the you that they told you you couldn't be you? Where is the you that they told you wasn't you? How you gonna tell me who I am? I can feel who I am. I know what my mind sees. And it doesn't need validation from anybody else, sweet. If they showed you it, then that's what it is, beloved. That's it. Clear mind. Clear your mind. Sweep away any doubts and no. Sweep away any doubts and no. I'm getting act with clarity as well. But it's definitely giving me anything that has placed doubts in you, that made you disbelieve. Because that's the thing. If all things are possible for those who believe, if you don't believe, then how is it possible? That's a part of the magic. Like, we have to trust, we have to believe that if they showed it to you, then it can be accomplished. It's not set aside for just certain people or certain ones who were born with this or born with that. No, we can create it. We are creators and we manifest on a daily. We are always attracting based on our belief system. So what is stopping you? What is holding you? What's limiting you? What's repressing you? What's suppressing you in your power, your magic, the wonder that's built within? Because you are it. You are powerful, beloved. Duality dance. And we talked about duality. Seek balance amid the chaos and find harmony within yourself. Cloud of unknowing. Are you able to sit in the unknown? Are you able to do that? Where is one that said, it was one that just said that. It's giving me that again. Definitely the unknown. Seek balance amid the chaos and find harmony within yourself. As you rediscover self, you will come to balance. You will balance things out, balancing those scales. As you continue to go on this journey, having a thirst for truth, you will discover not only unlock hidden emotions, right? Things that have been hanging around, repressed, things that are still bothering you for somebody, guilt did come out, right? or and secrets that need to be acknowledged. Acknowledging these things so that you can grow. We can grow. We can all grow. Creation continues to expand. This one, and then that's it. So let's get activated, and then we're going to call it. Thank you guys so much for tapping in and staying around for this message. Each of you that are here, I appreciate you. If you're new, welcome to you too. My name is Lottie. I am a spiritual reader, a channel messenger. On to the Most High God, the all beloved. We have all kinds of visitors. Look, again, miracle. You are a miracle. You are the wonder, and you can create miracles. They happen every single day. They do. Right? It supports our belief in ourselves as a part of the source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. What did the cup say? All things are possible for those who believe. What did they pull out? People don't believe. They don't. See, we in this microwave society where everybody thinks that everything just comes instantly. It's going to come and it's going to happen. Right? But sometimes you might have needed to stay and wait till the end for all these pieces to come together, all these ingredients for the meal to be made so that you could have ate that plate, right? This right here shows, Lottie don't pull cards. I don't. I am a willing and surrendered vessel, allowing them to come in and to use me for the highest good, beloved, to deliver the messages onto those who need to receive it. Edifying unto self first and foremost, because I'm not going to feed you shit I wouldn't eat. Huh? So therefore, if I'm bringing something in this deep, guess what? I'm going to give you every resource, every piece of knowledge, that and the sources from where I got it from, so that you can go and find it for yourself. But people don't believe. They'll check out before they get the whole thing. But again, some people, that's the way it's designed to be. You are a piece of the source. You are a pixel, a fractile of the Most High itself, the Alpha and Omega, all of us. You are a miracle. You are the wonder, and you have the ability to create miracles. You have the ability to manifest, and you do manifest. You manifest daily, and you're manifesting based on what you believe, beloved. What is tapping into your emotions? What is charging you? What is polarizing you? What lights you up? That right there is what you will continue to manifest. So if you are sitting in an emotion of guilt and you're operating on that system, that programming, then you will probably manifest things that you don't necessarily desire. Things that make you feel guilty, or others, or scenarios that continue to teach you that lesson so that you can release that emotion, so that you can move into your highest self to clear your own pathway. And the only way to really do that is by rediscovering yourself. To dig into those emotions, those difficult emotions. Don't run from the difficult emotion. Sit with it. And then allow them to shift. Now, I will say, we started going live because it started getting to the point where like our uploads for the messages would take a day. It went from like an hour or 30 minutes all the way up to 24 hours, 32 hours. Like they would not upload, beloved. We started noticing now on the lives, we're getting connection interruptions. There's nothing wrong with this iPad Pro that we're live on. Nothing. So if you hear static, then that's static interruption for a reason. When it cuts out and it skips and we're broadcasting live, that's for a reason, beloved. A lot of energies and entities do not want you to be empowered. They don't want you to understand who you are. They don't want you to rediscover yourself. They don't want you to awaken to your fullness. They don't want you to believe, beloved. Because when you start to believe, and the messages of belief starts to go out, to shed the things that don't serve us, to see ourselves as whole and complete, to understand that every resource that we need to reach our highest self, to perform our dharma, our purpose, is already with us, and we can claim it, we can tap into it, that it must be released. Oh baby, you done flipped the game. You done flipped the game. Because guess what? It's only a few that hoard this information. We didn't go through a dark age for nothing. Consciousness. When you become conscious of who you are, beloved, you will have changed the game. And it's going to be a lot of people around you that's not necessarily going to feel the same. You're going to make them feel uncomfortable. You may be uncomfortable making them feel uncomfortable. But we don't grow in a place where we're comfortable. We must always be pushing our boundaries, pushing our limitations, growing and expanding, beloved. This one. Prosperity. Prosperity is definitely here. Everything that you need is with you. It is. It is. Everything is created from the inside out, beloved. You don't just get everything to come in. You feel it. You create it within. You know it. You resonate with it. That it's already with you. You put out that energy and you attract it. You ain't got to work yourself to death or be a cog in the system. No, you can create this, beloved. Synergy. It says the frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. Giving birth to a whole new reality. I'm getting co-creations, that you are a co-creator. You coming into alignment with your highest self, mind, body, and spirit. You create your reality, beloved. We create it. But who are we creating for, and what are their motivations, and what are their intentions? What are the things that have us out of alignment, where your mind and your body and your spirit are not working cohesively, right? They're not in synergy. Allowance. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. And we were just talking about expansion. And I'm also getting, do you want this one? This one. So, anything else in here? Do you want to look at this now? No. Please tell me what you were saying. Whatever comes your way. So everything is here for a reason. Again, and we were talking about that everything serves a purpose. Even the feelings and emotions, the programming, all of it, right? Everything serves a purpose. But when we are able to go within ourselves and rediscover us, to release resistance, to be open to learning, to just be, even sometimes being an observer, right? Can I see it? And if I can see it, then I'm aware of it. And from that standpoint, I can discern, beloved. I don't need to run away from it. I can see that it's a difficult thing, that it makes me, feel a certain kind of way. But I can sit with it, I can feel it, I can see it, and from me being able to see it, I'm aware and I can learn. That intelligence allows me to make different decisions now. I could release it for what it was. It was a tool to support intelligence, learning, wisdom, being a principal thing, right? To get it, right? It's optimal. And when we put ourselves in a state of allowance, and sometimes it is outrageous openness, like to be able to even learn from the atrocities that happen. We don't want to treat each other that way because that shit sucks. It's hurtful. We don't want to have another nuclear war on Gaia because the planet is still healing from the last one. Yes. So if you look at some of the deserts across the planet, you dig down deep enough, you hit glass. What creates glass like that? Something that has an extreme temperature. Is evidence of wars across the planet. Like we see ancient ruins and cities underground, beloved. What are if nuclear fallout was to happen, where are people gonna go? You're generally underground because the surface is not necessarily habitable. I'm just saying, when you open yourself up, then you see a very different world. You can see that everything is not told to us. They want to come back to synergy, to accept the things that are not so obvious. Maybe for some of us, things that we've never seen before. And how those combinations and unions result in a new way of functioning, a new way of working, a new way of thinking and relating to one another, a new way of learning, to be able to accept information by being open, being, it says it reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar. We see divine masculine, they're putting it in reverse. Yeah, I hear you. You want me to say it? No. Getting comfortable with saying the things that are uncomfortable to say. Because again, we start going down those rabbit holes and people have a tendency to run away. But we're getting okay with that too. Comfortable with the fact that, it's going to be pruned. You know what I mean? Some people might come in because they hear something, and then the next time you hear something that you don't like and you're not able to accept it, then they unsubscribe, and that's okay too, beloved. It may have only been for the purpose for which you were here, for that moment. And if that be the case, then the purpose was still met, and I'm still good with that, right? I love that. The person that everybody is waiting for to come back and save the world, I believe that that is a huge manipulation. It keeps you from tapping into your own power. It keeps you waiting. It's designed to keep you waiting, to accept suffering and pain, and say that to suffer is your way to be cleansed or to reach righteousness or something, right, beloved? No. I do not believe that we were put here to suffer. I believe that we were here to experience life and to have it and it to be fruitful, to experience your heart's desires, that you can manifest them, that we are creators, we are co-creators, and that we can create that heaven energy sentiment here on Gaia. That's why we are here. Not to wait for a whole new earth to arrive, because so many people even believe like after that then the role is split. Like those who were persecuted will then, their oppressors will then serve them. That just perpetuates the same cycle of imbalance and disharmony and hurt and pain. So I don't subscribe to that. I think that's something that's given to placate and to pacify people, to accept a certain state now and relinquish your power that you have now. We have the ability to not only, we don't have to be nice all the time, but we can definitely give out compassion, sympathy, empathy. We can communicate for the sake of understanding, not to just be right, because who knows what's necessarily right or wrong. But at the end of the day, can we understand each other? Can we come to a meeting of the minds? Can we even agree to disagree and do it peacefully? Can we come to harmony and balance in that way, and understanding that there is duality, right? That there's a positive and there's a negative, that there's visible light and there's light that's not visible. So therefore, light and dark, if you want to put it simply. And it was designed to be that every possibility exists. Again, that's the miracle of it. that anything is possible. That is the miracle. That anything is possible. And once you come to that consciousness, you don't have to wait for the hereafter, beloved. You can have it now. Coherence. See, harmonizing the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. Your heart's desires. And we just said that. We literally said that. That's not it. We'll find it when we pick it up. Because we literally, it's a card down here that says heart's desires. The frequency of coherence, bringing things together, supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. But if there's something that has reprogrammed your mind, right, and we don't go back and unlearn that programming and reprogram ourselves, retune our frequency, tune in, right, so that we can awaken to who we truly are and what we can truly do, then, you know, all of that energy, not only am I hearing that it creates a discord, a disharmony, a dis-ease within you, but then your power is going somewhere else where it shouldn't be, needing us, calling us to reclaim our power so that we can use it, right? And do it more effectively and efficiently. So as we are moving towards manifesting these heart's desires, it becomes quick, like this. The time that it takes to manifest reduces because your belief turns to confidence and just a downright knowing, beloved. Faith is the base. That's Gerber. That's baby food, beloved. Is there something here you're showing? Whoa, which one? Yeah, illusions. And we got doubts. Doubts and something else behind here. What's that? Fulfillment. See, fulfillment. Right. Faith and those illusions. The illusion of faith is that it keeps you in I'm hearing elementary. Like it's rudimentary, right? Is what I'm getting. See, strength is in reverse. Sun, strength, enlightenment, right? Because when you know something, you just know. And you're not gonna have no conversation about it. Like, I would not stand there again trying to say, you know what, we can use the beloved flower cannabis, having that conversation, and yeah, it's good, but you can eat it, you can steam it, make teas, you know what I mean, and drink it, you can infuse it, but to burn it, like, it changes the chemical composition metabolically, and it changes how it affects with the body. Like, you have natural receptors in the body for it, and that binding changes when you smoke it. So, because it changes the composition, it burns it to ash. It transforms it in that way, instead of being able to take it whole and digest it. The body even takes it through a different pathway. Right, it goes through the stomach. It is filtered, through all of these different things that happens when you ingest that to digest it. Right, it's different than burning it. So that we could sit there and have conversation. I may expend some energy with you trying to get you to open up to receive my point of view, or even research what I'm saying and discern for yourself. But when you know something, I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm not about to sit up there and argue with you about my name being Lati. I know that for a fact. And it ain't nothing you could tell me. You can't sit up there and argue with me about your name not Lati. Yes, it is. And I know to sit there and engage in that is just a waste of energy, beloved. So it's a very different thing, but having something that you are learning and you have faith in, you believe it because you're studying, you're pretty solid, and you think that you know that thing. Or you get to the point where you're confident. Like, look, because I was confident. I know that I studied it this way from here, and here are the resources, and I can give you it. But that's confidence. But it's a whole freaking different thing to be self-assured, to know, beloved, like to know. Because there's certain things that you are just not going to even debate about. I'm not going to debate with you that I'm a brown-skinned girl with dreadlocks that sit in my waist. I'm not going to argue about that. I know it. That's not faith. I don't have faith that it is possible that I am. Fuck no. I know that I am. I know that I am. And I know that there are many messengers who are awakening to everything that is around them. Consciousness is expanding. The veil is falling. And all of these doctrines that are keeping people small, that operate on fear, that operate on guilt, that operate on the unknown. They take advantage of the fact that you just cannot know. I don't know where I'm gonna go when this vessel stops functioning, because your soul is immortal. It always was and it always will be. It never goes anywhere. Actually, the same as the body, because it's gonna go back into the system and be recycled. The circle of life. Oh, the Lion King Mufasa is getting ready to come out. Anywho, I'm giving a reminder to tell you to play. So if whatever your heart's desire is, it's been made known to you, you are conscious of it, play. I'm getting an offer, a love offer. Release doubts. Anything that's saying that you cannot fulfill this wish or that it cannot be fulfilled, beloved. Because guess what? Yes, it can. Wish granted. It's granted. Be mindful of the illusions, things that come to confuse you, right? Not seeing clearly, escapism, addictions, fantasy, right? And I'm getting the energy of the others that want to confuse you. They want to keep you in a place where you either don't know, because either they don't give you all the information so that you could know, and how things are so mixed up in this day that it could be very, very confusing. I'm seeing that card that says social media detox for somebody, right? Divine timing is always at play, but I'm getting our ability to speed things up and really get underway is our ability to believe and to stay in that energy. Alpha. We made some tea out of beetroot. Beetroot is very, very good for you. And we would kind of use that as like, our little juice. So we're kind of thinking about like how do we feed the body and how we do it, easy, like being very conscious of the nutrients that we need so that we can perform optimally, right? Reducing toxins and toxicity. So whether it be in our food, how we consume things, making sure that we do it or trying to think about it and doing it in a way that's just better for us, right? Again, that's kind of how we were talking about, cannabis, and, how they change a lot of things. Because again, it's not like that, coca leaves or poppy seeds, like they did not have a medicinal use. Yeah, they did. But when you start going in there and you play with its chemical composition so that you could, get a quick fix or you could, heighten it, and all that stuff, then it definitely changes what it does to the body and how does the body interact with it, right? Clarifying life situations. Planning phase. Somebody may be entering a planning phase Take a step back and plan the necessary steps to move forward so that you may turn your goals into a reality. Really, really, really honing in on meeting your highest good, your wish being fulfilled, being granted. But I'm getting one of the first steps, like I said, taking a step back is to rediscover yourself, to rediscover you, so that you can kind of, not only see the signs around you, taking self care, resolving any issues with guilt or other heavy emotions, right? Letting it go. Definitely seeing signs around you. The universe is speaking to you. I'm getting tuning your frequency. See, like the guitar, right? It has to be tuned so that it can play a harmonious sound, like the frequency that comes out of it, the music that you're playing, the song, your heart song that you are singing, right? Because I think that came out somewhere in one of the cards. It talks about a heart song, right? So what are the things that have you out of tune? And can you take the time to rediscover you so that you can tune yourself? You can tune your frequency. Always taking a chance on you, betting on you, beloved, is what I'm getting. Bringing yourself to balance. You could be juggling too many things. You could be really in tune to social media, maybe needed to take back and detox, or consider how are you using it and what for. Are you using it to escape, or are you using it to empower yourself? For somebody, thinking about these things could really turn around, your fate, your fortune. What wheel of fortune? Karma, cycles, divine intervention, divine detours. If you want to keep your path narrow and straight, I'm getting staying in tune with self, beloved. Understanding your self worth. Staying connected, right? It will definitely help you make your crooked road straight. Guiding you along your pathway. Getting into this new cycle. Karmic completion, travel, fulfillment, success after the quest. What was the quest? To rediscover self. Success. Balance. Adaptability. Thinking outside the box. Finding creative solutions. Fuck being nice all the time. Sometimes you have to interrupt some shit. Sometimes you're gonna say some things that are not always what they consider to be acceptable and respectable and political, correctness, right? And understanding when to pull back your energy. But some people need to get a word, right? You know what I mean? You might have to be stern with that thing. Because some people might just need to get a word. They need to hear that word. Because they might be coming with the bullshit, the illusions, right? I do see intuition, but it's definitely something subconscious, your emotions, and using them as a guidance, I was going to say guidance system, but it's something else that they want me to say. It's something about fear and faith, right? And it's giving me deceit, right? Things that are not as they appear. And I'm getting, again, that doctrine that kind of like manages us from a place of fear. It tells us to have faith to be faithful, but it's based on fear, on you not knowing, on the energy of the unknown. And see, it's something that starts within the family. It's foundational. You were born into these things. They be talking about cults and shit. I'm like, they don't think about that the same kind of way that you were born into it, that most of the time you don't have a choice. Like you were, put into this as an infant, right? Were you dedicated and given over? You were made to learn it. And even if you had questions, for a lot of us, a lot of the questions couldn't even be answered. I talked about that yesterday. I was one of the most irritating students in Sunday school because we had questions. How the hell did Noah get all of these animals on the boat? How did they know when to show up? You mean the lions didn't eat nothing for 40 something days? It only took 40 days for it to rain enough to cover the whole earth and then for the water to subside. Like, how did that work? Maybe it took longer than those days for the water to go down, but we had questions. We had questions. Where did they go? Wait a minute, you just said here in the Old Testament that the Most High God said that there is no God beside me. So how did this individual have a seat next to the Most High when the Most High just said that there ain't none beside me? That I don't have a name. How are we calling and praising somebody's name when the Most High said they don't got one? Whose name is that? And if their name is so important that it opens up salvation, why did they change it? I had a lot of questions. And I still question. That's why most I say question. You don't know them people that wrote that? Because they didn't write no book. According to the book, they didn't write a book. Because it ain't no book of Jesus in there, period. I'll wait. Somebody give me a reference. Leave it in the comments. Because I ain't found one yet. And I got a good 15 to 20 Bibles. I ain't found a book of Jesus yet. I'm just saying, again, what is affecting your belief system? What is it? What is taking authority over you? Telling you what you can do and what you can't do. What you gotta believe. Synergy, again, it's some shit that's not so fucking obvious. Never seen before. Combinations and unions that result in a new way of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. Messengers are being risen up to say, wait a minute, let's think about this. Like, hold the fuck up. Why are we being managed from a place of fear when I'm not supposed to fear anything? For thou art with me. The Most High God is with me. It is in me. I am made from it. I don't have to go nowhere to get to it. I could wake up and just look around and be graceful and grateful that I can see it. I can perceive it. I'm in this wonderful vessel that gives me the opportunity to see the Most High around me everywhere. Everywhere. Look, we have been called. That's a notification that just came up. We have been called. Messengers are being called because the veil is so heavy and the harvesting of energy is creating a world of atrocity. That is not why we're here. That is not what we're supposed to be creating. Healing is needed. And the only way we can heal is to come away from a fear-based system that makes you afraid of the unknown. Because everybody is concerned about where they gonna go. What if what if we're all here? Like that's, I don't know, I'm just saying. Remembrance. Affirmation. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul in a body. A soul in a body, right? Providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully. And tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. The tools that you need to flow gracefully with life and in this life. And we've been talking about asking the Most High God to restore and to replenish your tools, beloved. We are craftsmen. We are creators. We are creating things all the time. And one of the two, yes, conception, with possibilities, fertility, eggs, right, is giving me two things that are our greatest tools. One, I'm getting our knowingness, our understanding of who you are and what we are and where we come from. our realness, our trueness, our authenticity. That's one. And I'm getting our words. Because out of this mouth do we speak. We speak what we're aligned to, what we believe, what we think. And then we carry those things out through our actions, right? So if our heart and our mind, our soul, our spirit is not in alignment, then we're going to speak out chaos. We're going to act erratic, right? And it could be driven from a very emotional standpoint, right? From the low, not from the high, from the place of knowingness. But when you know, beloved, you are tuned, you are in alignment, what you know, your heart also feels is synergetic, is congruent, is what I'm getting. And then also what your spirit knows. Those things right there, and you just know it, you're beyond belief, you will see miracles manifest in your life because, again, we create daily. But are we creating chaos and strife, or are we creating peace and harmony? Everything that we create is all up to how we believe. Challenge yourself to stretch yourself, to rediscover yourself. Take yourself back to a time when you believed. Believed what? That all things are possible. It is. Childlike spirit. Going back in and rediscovering you, your inner child, beloved. They're telling me to tell you to play. To play. What you play, you manifest, and you do it in a quick way. You do. Like, so if, you want to be, I don't know, I'm just going to use something. I'll use us. We want to be, a journalist. Then we play journalist. We research all the time, right? Right? If you're playing it, you're playing the role. You are being it. Right. It's so funny to me that in today's society, some of the highest paid people are actors. They portray characters and they get paid for it. When we come in, we are taught how to act, how to behave. We are taught to act, to be a character. Young ladies don't behave like that. Young men don't behave like that. Boys don't do that. You are taught to play the role. But you could have played as a police officer. You could have played dress up. You could have played as a mommy. You could have played, a judge, a lawyer. What did you play? And who said that we had to grow up and stop playing? And I think the message is equally important since we are one day away from the day that usually, children wait for all year. The newness, the wonderment, the not knowing of what's in this present, in this box. What am I getting for all of the goodness I've been putting out all year? Or for some, it's a little bit distorted, where they're being rewarded for no good work. That's something to ponder too. So I was gonna say today, play with you. Take that as you need to take it. We're not gonna go there, beloved. But play, beloved. Touch base with you, your true you, your authentic you. And see how does that help you to open your mind up again to possibilities and potentiality. And then bring yourself in alignment so that you can increase your probability. Because preparedness and opportunity is luck, beloved. So is luck an illusion? Yeah, it is. Because you were prepared for it when the opportunity, the divine timing arrived. All things are possible. Move past belief and faith and just know. And when you know, huh, I'm just kidding, you will see all kinds of miracles grow. Thank you again so much for joining us here on the Tears and We Twirl show, where you show enough never know what you're going to get. You just never know, beloved. We are a spiritual reader, a channeled messenger. Onto the Most High God, beloved. Onto the all of infinity. Yes. And they are telling me to tell you to tune your frequency. Dial in. You can tap into a channel, beloved, and you will be amazed at what you see. To deprogram yourself, to believe, to move to confidence, show enough, shared. I'm hearing show enough self-assuredness, and it's giving me omnipotence and omnipresence, but it's something else. Somebody, your divine decree says that it is time for you to awaken. And in order for you to awaken, somebody may have to be shaken. So if you experiencing or are experiencing or recently experienced a major tower moment, because I was getting that volcanic energy, things being blown up, or a tornado where everything is being pulled up, sucked up, washed away, tsunami. It's so that your foundation can be reset, that you can be remade, right? It may mean that somebody is not so nice in this day. Like, you get to pick and choose. And I'm not saying just kindness is not a thing, because we always sympathize and empathize and communicate for the sake of understanding. But it may be people that you are being disconnected from. They may have taken your heart energy for granted. They could even be controlling for somebody, is what I'm getting. Somebody's spirit team just gave me that to tell you. Fuck being nice. Be nice, but not too nice, right? Because not everybody deserves your kindness. Be nice, but not too nice. It's something with that. So, yeah, it's giving me like way too nice, sweet. See, compassion. Way too nice. Divine feminine, right? Way too nice, right? Communication. There may be something that you need to say, and you may need to say it in a way that's not your usual niceness. I'll show you. Might be a little stern and firm in putting in some sort of boundary, or telling somebody that you ain't the one, the two, or the three. Thank you so much again for joining us here. We appreciate you. We finna go. We finna go. We thank you. Look. If I could tell you how much, I can't even express it. I mean, like, so grateful for each and every one of you that come in, especially stayed and listened to this for this long. Look, beloved, I pray that it was edifying unto your spirit, that you feel strengthened to bear the yoke that's on your shoulders, to understand that you might be going through a crumbling or falling away because you are awakening. The Most High God is awakening His messengers in this day, and said that it's time for the veil to come down, for the illusions to fall away, so that you can see you. And I'm getting every possibility, every variety, in every single way that you are worthy, that your heart's desires are here, that it is communicating out into the ether. Therefore, these things must happen so it could clear the way for you. Appreciate you just like you were our first ones and twos. We do. Love you just like I love me, because that's my capacity. Just like I love the Alpha and the Omega that made me, that called me, that sent me to be the infinite intelligence breathing, because the word lives in this day, beloved. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. To the next now. This one's done. Ashe.